So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
Girl, what's the tea?
So Auntieways. So Auntieways.
Man.
Oh my God, that's almost as good as Linda Carter's version. Hello, everyone. Welcome
But
to So
not quite.
Auntieways. This is
Yeah.
Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
And this is Boobs.
And this is, I believe, episode 14. You are boobs. Boobs.
I am Boobs.
You feeling very chesty?
You've got juicy boobs, babe. You
Yes. Jugs of plenty, darling. Jugs of plenty. And we are going to, once again, do our weekly breakdown of what we're featuring, what we're not seeing, boys we're crushing on, and a recap of the facts of life. Am I right? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yes. An episode of The Facts of Life I finished watching like 10 minutes ago.
Can I get a gay men?
Gay
You
man.
got 3 right here. Gay men.
Do you know what I was thinking when I was putting on my moisturizer
isn't
right
that-
before
isn't-
this? Huh, what?
Isn't that the evil god in Hereditary? Is Gaiman?
It's Paymon.
Amen.
Paymon.
Payment.
Gaiman. Should have been Gaiman.
You know that song from The Wiz? And it really speaks to when a new member of the homosexual community comes out of the closet. Can you feel a brand new gay?
Hey,
Yes.
hey, 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 hey.
I don't know. I thought we'd all get like a sensation about it, but we didn't.
My
All right.
new weekly ad for Target came up. What?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you know
God.
that is the mom from Good Times, Miss Mabel King? Was
What's happening?
What's happening?
From What's Happening, excuse me, was the evil witch in
Right.
the filmed version.
She could sing.
Ain't nobody bring me no bad news.
Yes.
No bad news.
You know, that's so weird because in the episode of The Facts of Life that we're talking about, at one point behind Tootie, I noticed there's a picture of Raj hanging on her little bunk bed on the
Get
wall.
out of
behind-
here.
I go
Raj?
back and watch it. Raj
Okay.
from What's Happening.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You know, they
Really?
all have their own little decor.
Yeah.
Like Joe has biker things and Blair has her New Yorker poster. There's a picture of Raj hanging on Tootie's wall. But we'll get into it. Let's start off with what we are featuring this week. Who would like to kick it off? Okay, then I will. What I am featuring is a show that I believe is on the Peacock network or streaming service. I think it's called Peacock. It's called Girls 5 Eva. Have you seen this?
Never heard
No,
of it.
but I haven't seen it, but I do know that Sarah Bareilles wrote the music,
And she's
And
the
it-
lead.
and she's the lead, and also executive produced, and it was kind of her baby. And I've heard 2 of the songs.
Yeah,
because I heard them do it live.
it's really cute. I don't even know how I came across it, but it's a light comedy about a girl group from like Y2K era that regroups now that they're in their 40s and flops.
Busy Phillips.
Busy Phillips, Renee Elise Goldsberry,
Yes.
Paula Pell. It's really funny. It's a very NBC kind of feeling, like it's a Tina Fey produced kind of jam.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of comedy, 30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt, it's not as hardcore funny as that, but it's light, fun entertainment. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the music. Girls 5 Eva is what I'm featuring this week.
Apparently, just as a little side, the lead of Kimmy Schmidt is a big racist.
Nah, she's not, girl. Don't
Apparently
go.
she's a big
No,
racist.
she is not a big
I
racist.
read the article.
Nah, bitch. Oh, but do you have the receipts? No, girl. That's not
Yeah.
what it is. No, that is not.
Ruined
what
it for
is.
me because I so
No.
love Titus Burgess.
Mama, don't get it. Oh my God, don't get into the clickbait. She went to a dance when she was 19 that is held by a group in Indiana or some shit that does have historical ties to the KKK.
Oh,
But
That
she
just-
just went to the dance.
she went of her own free will.
She left her hood at home.
She left
Yeah,
her hood.
exactly.
Now listen,
Exactly.
she
But
may
was-
have been
but she
the
was-
princess.
She
of
was
the
dressed
dance.
like and she was dressed like Scarlett O'Hara. So I
Nah,
don't know.
girl, nah,
Yeah.
bitch. No, before
Oh.
you nah,
No,
Booger, please.
you just like you
Before
just
be-
like her. You just like her.
I'll call a racist bitch out. But what I'm saying is, what's your source? The internet?
Yeah.
Do a little research, mama. No,
Yeah.
bitch.
Can I go? Can I
So
go?
Wait a minute. Just
Ugh.
one last thing. You don't buy that, but then when I told you that I did the research and found out that Cab Calloway was the father of Janet Dubois,
untrue. Also
and you
untrue.
but that you refuse to believe. No,
Because
no,
it isn't
no,
true.
no.
Oh my
It is
God,
true.
girl. It is not true.
true.
Yeah, it's all
both-
over the internet.
Oh, it's on the internet. Oh,
Whatever.
of course.
Booby, what are you featuring, my love?
I am featuring a new Netflix show
I hate it.
series called Sweet Tooth.
It's
Have
your
you
blood
seen it?
The
sugar low.
horns.
Yes.
The Mark Miller jam. Yeah, I want to.
Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And his wife produced this. It's based on a comic book, and it's the Holocaust. Not the Holocaust. The apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse, and then during the apocalypse, with this virus that's killing everybody, these hybrids are being born, babies that are half human, half animal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fabulous! You got to see it.
Yeah.
And
It's real cute. It's real cute.
You know, but it's produced by Robert Downey Jr.
And his wife.
Yeah.
You know that they're into piss play. I heard that on the internet.
yes, and
So he'd be a rusty Iron Man.
it's based on the Mark Miller comics. You know,
Exactly.
Mark Miller did the Kingsmen, and he had a lot of big comics in the kind of the early aughts.
And he's racist.
Apparently, he's a big racist. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's really, really good. It's on my list for sure. It's really good.
What's it called?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth, not Sweet Tooth, like the drink that
Sweet
Simone.
Tooth is.
It's
Sweet
your
Tooth
blood
is.
sugar low.
Is your blood sugar low?
Oh,
Occasionally, my blood sugar is low.
true. So Sweet Tooth on Netflix. Okay. So Girls Five Ever, Sweet Tooth on Netflix. Matinga, what are you featuring this week, other than unsubstantiated internet rumors?
Yes. So I am. I'm featuring this week Drag Race Espana.
I see, pero.
So the first episode came out last week. The
Hold on,
second
wait.
episode.
Wait, spoilers. There may
Spoilers.
be spoilers. There
There-
may be
there-
spoilers.
There may be spoilers. There may
Wait,
be spoilers.
Anthony, Matinga, if you're going to give spoilers and you're about to give a spoiler and then your spoiler is done, make a hand signal so those people can come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I
Like
just want to
both.
say it. Just like, guys, I'm about to spoil it all. I swear.
Category is spoiler alert.
Lost my earphone.
Oh, well.
I think I just spoiled Vogue. So, but listen, no, it premiered last week. Now, so of course, this little group here is into all things Drag Race to varying degrees. I'm also watching Drag Race Down Under, which I'm enjoying very
Which
much.
I know Booby wants to talk about.
Yeah, but I want to say that I was really, really waiting for and looking forward to Drag Race Espana. The first episode was last Sunday. The new episode is today. Actually, it's premiered today at 2. I haven't seen it yet. And I just
Oh, there's
love
a
it.
double Shantae.
I am so obsessed. You didn't make hand movements before you gave away that
I
little
just
spoiler.
made that up, bitch. I just made that up.
I know you did. And
Aye.
but I just want to say, but just real quick, so you know, when you're watching Drag Race in another language, like they've done Dutch, Drag Race Holland and Thailand, and you know, you're reading the subtitles.
Drag Race a gunquit.
Exactly, Algonquit, because
Yeah.
it's that very white northern accent on that.
I don't
one.
speak Cape Cod, honey.
Yes, I just taste like cod. So you have to read it and watch it, and so sometimes there's a disparity, you know, between the because you know language has a subtlety, and if you don't understand the language, the translation can sometimes be lacking. So, but in Spanish, since I speak Spanish, I'm catching all the subtlety of like their glingo, their gay lingo,
Right.
which is quite different from the way Puerto Ricans speak Spanish, from the way, you know, American queens have
They're
their
very into
lingo.
maricon.
But it's so like they're reading, but it's really subtle. It's very smart. They're kind of ghetto, but at the same time, you could tell they're educated. It's like these little saucy, underhanded reads. The confessionals are really funny. A bunch of them are super cute. I'm obsessed. Drag Race Espana. It's what even if you're reading the subtitles. Like, enjoy it. It's so
You
good.
like the one with the light eyes, right? The contacts, the blue contacts.
I like
He's kind of hard.
I like Carmen Farala.
That's the one I'm talking about.
And I like Arantxa Castillo.
I like her, but I don't know what her name means.
But I think also she giving you like a little mix of Jinx and Trixie.
She's a little kooky.
Yeah, it's kind of kooky.
The one with the blonde bangs.
Yeah,
she's got.
She's got
red hair.
like Raggedy Ann hair, sort of.
Gotcha.
I like.
No,
Horacio.
yes. No, wait, Booby, you're right. She was the first one in the room with the blonde bangs. Yes, that was.
Yeah,
yes.
I like
kind
her.
I like her.
Very
I
down
like
to
her. Really down to earth, but it's like really cute. I like Poopy Poison. I like
Is that the older one?
She's the old one.
She's kind of like the
her.
older one. Honey,
kind of red for Lala.
she is shady.
Yeah, watch out for her.
I like that, and I'm about to spoil it when she's like when
No,
she
no, no,
talks
no, no,
about.
no.
Oh, it's so
Spoil.
about to spoil when they put them on a fake toro, whatever,
A mechanical bull.
On a mechanical bull, and one of them, like, her balls pop out. Some of them aren't even fucking wearing underwear.
Miss Falala, right?
But Miss Falala, her balls pop out. Now she looks good. Like she's like.
But
pretty
they call them
she's
huevos.
Huevos. And and like Miss Poopy Poison, she's like, se salieron los huevos. And it's funny. Yo, it's funny, dude.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I have watched that episode like 3 times. Like I watched it once just to watch it, and then like twice just to listen. I'm obsessed. Spaniards speak Castellano,
which is pure Spanish.
Now Puerto Ricans also speak Castellano, but it does not sound the same. Right, sounds they sound so different. So my obsession this week is drag Race Espana.
I'm enjoying it, but like I think I texted you guys, there's so much screaming.
Yeah, because they're fiery.
They scream about.
Yeah.
Somebody walks in the room, they scream. Somebody picks up a pen, they scream. I'm like, okay. Also, the host, who's not RuPaul,
her name is Suprema.
Well, okay,
Suprema.
then. Well,
Two actors from Veneno, Jose Calvo.
Yeah,
and then some famous model, and then some fucking cutie pie who looks kind of Indian.
Yes.
Whose name
he looks like Jamiroquai.
Yeah, whose name was like Juan Cortajarena, like like Spaniard Juan Cortajarena. You can't even say it. It was so hard to say.
I agree. Pie? I think it's really well done. I think it's really funny. I did watch it with subtitles because, as you know, Polynesian is my native language.
Was
but
it
I did
funny?
Enjoy it.
Was it still funny?
It was super funny. I couldn't get past the screaming.
Yeah.
But I really liked all of them. I thought they all looked great. They're all fucking delusional, as you want your queens to be. The screaming was a bit much.
Yeah.
But I liked it. And the one that with her eggs on the mechanical bull.
Yes.
Farala.
Carmen Farala.
I mean, I see the appeal, but like that bitch is hard angles.
Yeah, and the lips are fake. But I have to say, as we know, that because the 3 of us have done drag, the more drag you do, the less masculine you are going to look. The better you want to be at drag, the less masculine you are going to look. Because you have to do stuff. You have to get rid of the brows.
But that's why fat
bitches
have an advantage. Fat bitches always look better in drag because they're already round and soft.
Exactly. So, but these Latino boys, like a bunch of them, still look really cute as boys.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Not to be racist, but in the hierarchy of like races doing drags, white bitches got it the hardest because they always look the hardest.
Well, they've got it, but they also have a very pale palette to work with.
I guess. I mean, but like an Asian bitch, honey, you spritz her with some aloe spray, she's good to go.
She always looks fabulous.
Those bitches from Thailand, some tinted moisturizer and some lip balm, and they're ready to go, honey.
Well, the transgender ones are the ones who really turn it out in Thailand.
Yeah. Yes.
Have you seen Thailand?
Girl, I lived in Thailand for 6 months. The operation didn't stick.
They're nasty. They're the meanest one. Thailand, like the queens in Thailand, like they're the ones like putting like glass shards in your makeup.
Yeah,
like they're not fucking around.
Right.
They're here to win.
They want that crown.
Yeah, they want that crowd.
Because they're trying to get off the island or wherever they are. I don't know what Thailand is. Am I a fucking history teacher? No, I'm not an engineer.
History teacher.
Whatever, science, math, who cares?
Geography.
Did any of y'all watch that television show that they were all stuck on the island for like 5 years?
Lost?
With
No.
Lost.
Gilligan's
With
Island?
Miss Evangeline Lilly, yeah, Lost. So there was an actress
Oh,
on
you're
Lost.
talking about The Prisoner, which we talked
No.
about one other time. Okay.
No, but that's a fierce 1960s television show. So anyway, so not Evangeline Lilly, but the red-headed chick from Lost once stayed at my hotel. And she had a pretty big part. She was on for a couple seasons. She had like red curly hair. I forget her name, but she was one of the stars of Lost. Of course, I pegged her the second that she
Oh,
walked
you
in.
pegged her. Wow.
And so, but on the day that she was leaving, I was like, "Oh, I just want to say I love Lost. You're so good on Lost. I just want to say you were rocking it." And she's like walking out, and she's like, "I'm late. I got to get back to the island, but thank you." And she ran down the stairs. And I thought that was really cool of her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because sometimes they're just like, oh, whatever.
I've never seen Lost.
I never have either.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna see some bitches trying to get off an island, make it Fire Island. Because I'm always trying to get away from there, girl. I don't like Fire Island.
Or Miami Beach, where we got
Miami
away
Beach. Yes. Now you live in
You
the
do
high
not wanna-
life and Gulf.
You do not want to be stuck on Fire Island for all eternity. I also met Ian Somerhalder, who was also on Lost.
Oh my God, who's that?
And he was on Lost, but he was also in the movie. I think he was in Go, if I'm not mistaken. He's been in a bunch of things. Vampire Diaries.
Yes.
Very, very
lovely.
good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well,
And
you
so-
know what?
Yeah.
That makes me want to talk about boy crushes.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just to
Is
finish
he
up,
your boy crush, girl?
He isn't, but he walked into my veterinary clinic one time with his little kitty, and he was so beautiful, and he was so stunningly beautiful. It was
eyes.
crazy. Yeah, like even all the girls were like, "Who the fuck is it?" He was
Little
like
kitty?
5'4", but he loved his kitty so much. Like he sat there
Aw.
holding his kitty, like that makes you so much more adorable. But
Yeah.
but go on.
Yeah, go on. All right. I still don't know who that is. I'll have to Google it.
So
Miss
let me
Matega,
boy crush-
who is
let
your
me do boy
Yeah.
crush.
Yeah.
Okay, so my boy crush, I'm gonna try and share my screen.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey. Share it.
And am I
Mary.
just sharing? Am I sharing the entire screen or just the window?
Just share your window.
So I'm sharing. Can you see that?
The rubber band. Let's see.
Am I
There-
sharing?
Okay.
Okay. So
Ooh.
those are the Perez twins, and
See?
they are actual twins, and they are part of the pit crew from España. And honey, they are so fucking beautiful. They are beautiful.
Look at
And
them.
Look at that
And on the
face.
show, they're not even that ripped. Like on the show, like the one on the left has even a little bit bigger of a belly, but he looks so delicious.
Yeah.
Like perfection. The pit crew of España is coming for the pit crew in Australia,
Oh yeah.
who are also quite beautiful.
They're hot. I don't like guys that know they're hot, and those two look like they know they're hot. So yeah.
But
Anyway, they're
that's
very
the hair
they're
show
very
you.
cute. Let's look at them one more time. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at those
they're-
eyes.
They're very smooth. They're very
hope-
smooth.
I just hope they've blown each other.
Oh, come on. I'm sure twins hate hearing that. I mean, I hope it's true too. And you know that they do, or did, or will.
You know, sometimes the ecstasy is really good. You've been at that circuit party for 18 hours. You get back to the hotel. You're like, yo, I need a bro job. Yo,
From my literal bro.
from my literal bro, you know, that's what happens.
But isn't that like the ultimate form of narcissism? I mean, if it's an identical twin, you're basically just sleeping with yourself.
But isn't faggotry like kind of narcissism in its way, a little narcissistic in its way? Because you're into what you are
The lies, honey.
in a way.
No, I think opposites attract. I want a
We're
man
into
that's
men.
good at math. Yeah, we're into
You're
men.
into men.
I want a man that's good at math, that has a job, that knows how to fix things.
Oh, that's
I
not
want-
what you are.
I want a man that's stupid. I want a man that sleeps 20 hours a day when he's not at work. Just pay the damn bills. Get off my back. That's all I gotta say. I love, romance. So,
Yes.
Booby, who is your boy crush this week?
My boy crush. It is. Share screen.
I'm so sorry.
Share
No,
screen.
that was very, very bluesy. Go ahead, booby. I'll sing while you get that together. Prepare yourself for the rubber
you see it?
band. All right.
Not yet.
Bill Hader.
Oh, I love Bill
hey.
Hader. Oh, look at that scruffy cutie.
He's
Aw.
so cute. He does so many impersonations. He does impressions of Jabba the Hutt and of a Tauntaun that are hysterical.
Oh,
He's perfectly adorable in his like not
oh, he's Stefan.
handsome way.
Stefan.
He's
Yeah.
Stefan, yeah. Like he's not typically handsome, but he's so fucking adorable.
So
Yeah.
he used to live in London Terrace, you know, on in Chelsea, that apartment
Really?
complex. Someone I used to work with lives there, and said that Bill Hader lived there. He was very, very nice. And one time, Bill Hader had thrown out his trash, and there was like a whole bunch of fan mail in it, which I guess presumably he had already answered. And my friend was tempted to like open it up and read it. And I said, "Oh my God, bitch, did you?" He didn't, unfortunately.
If it was sealed, then he didn't address it. I mean, was it sealed?
No, they were
no?
it was fan mail that had been, you know,
Been opened.
and then it was like in this big garbage bag. I guess he got a lot of fan mail. Shit. Honey.
You know what? You're not dealing when you're Bill Hader, when you're that famous. You're not dealing with your own fan mail.
You have an assistant.
It's too much. Yeah, your assistant is sending out form
Wasn't he
letters.
in It?
Maybe you signed them. Yeah, he was in It.
Although,
was.
who writes actual letters anyway? That's
The
weird.
art of letter writing is disappearing.
Yeah.
And remember, we have letters from Hamilton. Linda Hamilton, when she hated James Cameron.
Yeah.
And Alexander Graham Bell, like people who wrote great leaders
And
great
Alexander
minds.
O'Neill.
And Miss Alexander O'Neill, who wrote letters to each other because great minds wanted to communicate. And a lot of these things exist in museums like the Peabody, like the Smithsonian, and they are windows into another time and into the mind of great people. But that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That does not exist anymore.
Well, you know what? To keep that going with the great minds, I'll write you a letter. Yeah. Take a letter, Maria.
They're not
You're gonna write me a
teaching
letter, Maria?
penmanship anymore in
They're not
school.
teaching.
Address it to my wife.
Address it to your wife. Tell that bitch I took her man. And
That's
yes,
right.
bitch, I got a knife. Miss Booby,
Yes.
what'd you say that they're not teaching penmanship?
No more in school.
Nope.
Oh, they're barely teaching.
Like kids
fucking
can't
math.
write. They can't even sign their own checks. Well, who
What-
writes?
They
checks?
don't. Yeah, they're not. What they're not teaching is script, or what is there's script and there is
Cursive?
no cursive is script.
Typewriting.
Then
I'll take
there's-
typewriting for
Then
200.
there's each letter individually. That's called
What is historical sausages for 300, Alex?
or printing. Print. They're not
Printing.
teaching-
Print.
They're, or maybe that's what they. So they're not teaching script, cursive, or print.
Right.
People type now or
Oh.
text.
Everything is text.
Yeah,
But are they teaching Afro-Brazilian dance?
I wish,
Mm-hmm.
honey, that would have been the class that I was turning.
Right? I would have stayed in school, girl.
What?
My man is Umbatu.
What?
That's right.
I would have said
That's my man's name.
I would have continued on past the 6th grade. Well, let me tell you about my boy crush this week.
Yes.
One, the only, Jason Bateman. Okay.
I love Jason Bateman.
Let me tell you about Miss
Boy.
Jason Bateman.
You got
Y'all
a good
talk-
picture of him?
I think I do. I think I'll bring it up right now. I'm featuring him right now because he happens to be in Thunder Force, which is a not great
Puppet movie?
Thunder Force. No, with Melissa McCarthy on Netflix.
Oh.
Wow, we watch a lot of
yes.
Netflix. I
Yeah.
guess. Okay, so can y'all see that?
Aww.
Wow.
So he plays Crabman, which is he's a miscreant, superpowered being that
Right.
has crab claws, but he's like super funny and he's super cute and just super likable. And I've
Yeah.
enjoyed him in so many things like Arrested Development and
So many things.
But I
the,
watched-
the Hogan family,
the
Valerie,
Hogans, bitch,
yeah,
Valerie, which became the
Valerie,
Hogan family,
which became the Hogan family. Yeah.
right? Because of Sandy Duncan and her glass eye.
No, Valerie wanted more money. Valerie
Valerie Harper.
Valerie Harper wanted more money. It was her show. She was the
Right.
lead. But
Right.
Jason was the up and coming star and the breakout of the show. So
Right.
they gave him the money. And she said, listen, I want his part not to be bigger than mine, and I want more money or I'm out. And they were like, and they killed her off. They're like, okay, then die.
Right, we'll get this
And
other
Then
bitch.
die.
To
We
which,
gotta pay her with one eye's worth of salary, honey.
well, to which she said the show is called Valerie, and it's not going to make it without me. They brought what's her face,
Sandy Duncan.
Sandy Duncan, as most people know her as Peter Pan,
And number one, her glass eye got its own dressing room, and they paid her in
Yes.
Triscuits. They paid her in Triscuits.
exactly,
Showbiz, kids.
exactly.
And
the show,
she's a racist.
Yes,
and she's racist down. Miss Sandy Duncan,
honey.
forget it.
She's the
So racist. And that show still made it anyway. And the show went on without
So
her.
Jason Bateman, he's just so tasty. You know what? There's a picture. You guys remember this cover of Entertainment Weekly? Let me see if I can pull it up. He's just so cute. I just love him, and I
He
really
was a-
enjoyed him in Thunder Force. Although it's sort of a mediocre project, which I did laugh a little. But there's his Entertainment Weekly cover. You all see that?
Aw.
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah,
Word.
I
Pouring
do.
lemonade down his crotch. Honey, I'll take a drink of that. When life gives you lemons,
Also,
suck Jason Bateman's dick.
a natural body, but still like nicely in shape because he's probably our age. He's probably a dude in his 50s.
Well,
And
I'm
he
not
still
talking about
looks
your
so
age. What?
good.
I don't talk about your age.
So apparently Harley is a teacher, Harley Kokami, and
Yeah.
he still teaches
She.
cursive. Teaches cursive in her curriculum. I just read that. My sister's also a teacher, Harley. She's
And
in
that is-
academia.
That is one of the wonderful comments that you could be experiencing live if you were a patron of Workshop, because these live recordings are a patron exclusive. So hit us up on our Patreon or our Venmo for access to this very special content.
Look at
And
this
what-
picture.
Oh shit. All right, hold up now. I gotta be doing this. Jason Bateman.
Oh, look at how adorable.
Look
Look at that
how
boy.
fucking cute.
Isn't he
Yes.
And still so youthful, but like
Mm,
also
thank you.
apparently I never saw he's on a show with the amazing Laura Linney.
Ozark?
Ozark, that is
Yeah.
also incredible. I've never seen it, but apparently it's incredible. And I love
Ozark.
Laura Linney.
Ozark.
I love Laura Linney. She's so good.
He was also in a movie called The Sweetest Thing. That was that's where I got that picture from with
Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz. Oh my God, such a great movie.
I think I saw. Is that with their airline stewardesses? or something?
No.
Oh, why am I making robot moves?
Airline stewardesses.
Is it a book or a robot?
Or a robot.
Okay. Well, I think we picked some really hot and tasty dudes for this week's round of Boy Crush. Let's move on to what we are not seeing. A segment we call Bitch, I Don't See That. Who'd like to kick it off? Okay, I will. My first thought was, I'm not seeing roadkill. But then I thought, I don't want to talk about booby and drag. So instead, I want to talk about this new edict that we can all go maskless. I have a very specific reason why I'm not into that. It has nothing to do with health. It has nothing to do with the pandemic. So, my imaginary boyfriend down at the market, the hearing impaired, learning disabled dude.
Right.
Who I didn't get a chance to see, but Booby did get a chance to see.
No, Michael Doss
not
saw
Booby.
him.
Michael Doss saw him. I'm sorry. Not
He's
Booby.
real. See, I didn't make him up. I was in the store the other day. I was walking into the store and he was coming out and he took his mask off. He's even hotter without that mask. He has a nice sort of like chestnut brown beard with ginger highlights, but I could see his strong masculine jaw underneath all that fuzz.
Rumpy.
Bitch, I was like, put your mask on. I don't need to be upset like that. And then I was standing by the freezer section trying to pick out what ice cream I was going to get because I'm a fat bitch. And here he come walking up the way. And I must have looked stressed because then he said, "Are you okay, sir?" And I was like, I just left it
because
out
you
of the
never
eye.
you actually never said an actual word to him.
I talked to him with my eyes.
Uh-huh.
He don't answer. Anyway,
I don't know why, but when I picture him in my mind, I see that creature from the Goonies. What was the creature from the Goonies?
Matenga.
Who's that?
Sloth.
I see Sloth.
Ruth. Baby.
He is fine. And I sent you guys pictures of him when I was stalking him in the parking lot last February. Anyway, moving on. That's what I'm not seeing. Who's not seeing?
When he was stalking you?
I was stalking him lightly.
Of course.
Lightly. I would never
Stalking
do
light.
anything.
It's
Yeah,
like a
light.
yogurt.
Yeah, stalking light. Now with
Careful. Those Republicans up where you live carry guns. They will shoot a faggot
bitch,
for fun.
I got a razor under my tongue. I ain't scared of shit. Bring it on. Come on, Pillbilly. Come on.
That's right. You always have safe sex. You always carrying your gun.
I'll fight a bitch behind the dumpster. I will fight a bitch behind the dumpster. Miss Booby, what are you ain't seeing?
I had something and I lost it. So
Was
I'm
it
just
about
gonna-
Drag Race Down Under? I don't know. You mentioned
Yes.
that before we started. Oh my God, I'm amazing.
You're
What is it, girl?
good. I don't like that bitch with the blue hair. Art
Spoilers.
I don't like her
spoilers,
either.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I
She's
don't-
so shady, and at points where people are being really nice and sincere, and she gets shady, and it's like you got to learn your place,
Earn your spot.
Earn your spot.
earn your spot. You know, understand when shade is required, and when everybody is being nice and being real and being, there's no need to bring up shade. She's just young,
Sloth.
and she's got a lot to learn.
Well, don't forget though, you're seeing what the producers want you to see. She's getting the villain edit, the
Right.
famous
Yes.
villain edit.
Yes, but
Right.
listen, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover necessarily, but there's also something to be said for following your gut. And if you walked into a nightclub, say in Perth, you happen to be visiting Perth, and you saw that bitch across the room,
Perth first.
honey, and you just saw her face, I would think to myself, that's a shady cunt.
Yeah.
I would think that bitch is a shady cunt just
Probably.
by seeing her face, because there's something about the set of her eyes and her little I'm better than you thing that just
Right.
it telegraphs I'm a shady bitch. We have all walked into the club and seen that little click from across the floor and been like shady bitches. And also
Shady.
people have seen us walk into the club and seen us across the floor and thought those are shady bitches. And do
they
you
were
know
right.
why? Because they were right. Yeah.
At this point, I'm walking
You're
into
right.
the club with orthopedic shoes and a bottle of Geritol. I'm not going to any club. I'll say
I mean,
this.
how
Now
many
they
years
don't
ago?
say shady bitches. Now they say shady pines.
Shady Pines, darling.
Shady
Okay.
Pines.
You know what? Whether or not she's a twat, yet to be determined. Who knows? I don't know her. I think probably yes, but the producers are showing you what they want to show you. Okay.
Yeah.
Matinga, you're right. You have to go with your gut, which also makes me think about a saying on the most recent episode of Drag Race Down Under: run it up the guts.
Run it up the
Run
guts.
it up
Whatever
the
that
guts.
means.
Run it up the guts. Do you know what that
Yeah.
means?
No.
Well, I had to do some investigation, and I spoke to somebody down under in New Zealand, actually. Max Curry of the Pit Crew. And he said it means really go for it, be bloodthirsty and go for it. Now, I thought it meant something vulgar like, honey, I'm going to run it up the guts, fuck you till I hit your pancreas. And
That's what I thought.
that is the meaning that I'm going to stick with. I have made my decision.
Gotcha.
Run it
Well,
up the
I have-
guts, daddy.
I have had a guy say, and this is the honest to God's truth, fuck my guts. Oh, fuck my guts, dude.
Well, they were right there laying on the bed next to him.
With your guts
Exactly.
hanging with the guts
Yeah.
hanging right next to you.
And I'm like, how much more guts do you want me to pull out of you, dude? I mean, for
Oh.
Christ's sake, I haven't the guts.
You know what? I still have a list of, remember when I used to write porn for Dick Magazine? And I had compiled a list of porn terminology. And one of the phrases was ass guts. I distinctly remember ass guts,
Ass guts.
and sperm gun. Because, you're writing porn, you're going to run out of ways to say
Dick.
what you got to say. Sperm gun, ass guts,
Bazooka blower.
bazooka blower, cock snot, which was never one of my favorites, darling. I mean,
ass meat.
in literature and life, that's another story. All right, Miss Matinga, what are you not seeing? Let's run it up the guts, shall we?
Let's run it up the guts. So I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's an audio-visual podcast.
I asked this person before I am sharing this little piece of
Is it a cast member of Lost?
No.
Uh-oh. Is it an internet racist?
No.
Is it Rubber Band Man? That could be a horror film. Y'all prepare yourself for the. Is it? Oh no, that's the Rubber Man from American Horror Story.
Now, am
No.
I sharing?
No.
Am I
You
sharing
ain't,
yet?
you ain't sharing nothing. The horror movie,
ain't
The
sharing
Rubber Band
shit.
Man, he just walks around snatching your ponytails up without your consent. So don't pay yourself for the Rubber Band Man.
Okay. So what I'm not featuring, am I sharing?
Okay, let's see it.
Am I sharing?
Okay, yes.
So that
Yes.
is my sister, my beautiful sister, Rochelle. She is
Oh.
so amazing. I love her. This was taken last week. We went out to dinner. So what I'm not featuring this week is cancer. My sister is
Yes.
in the middle of chemo treatment. She has non-Hodgkin's, and it has taken the life and breath out of this family. And she's a fighter, and and her prognosis is pretty good, but the treatment is quite tough.
Yeah.
But doesn't she look beautiful?
She
Yeah.
does, and
Uh,
she's a strong woman.
and she's so strong. This is her second bout of cancer. She had breast cancer about 10 years ago. But she is, we bought her all these beautiful scarves and all these, I'm going to stop sharing, and turbans. And she's like, no, I have cancer. And I am going
She's
to
a
go out
turban
there.
cowgirl.
She's like, I have cancer and I'm going to show my bald head because I look beautiful. And so we're fighting with her. But that's what I am not featuring this week. My mother's also a cancer survivor. I'm not featuring cancer. Cancer sucks, man.
Yeah.
But I have to say that my sister is such a fighter, and she's, she was having a good day that day, and it was a wonderful day. So that's what I'm not featuring right now is cancer.
But you know what? I think that's a very valid thing to not feature. And I want to say your sister has the most important thing of all, which is the love of her family. She has support,
Yes.
and she's a strong woman with a signature dance move. And if
Yes.
I would stand up and do it,
Yes.
but instead I'll have Matinga describe it. Describe your sister's signature dance move.
Well, it is. Thank you, Linda Renee. Thank you, Christine Hanner. Thank you, Thomas and Richard and Linda and everybody. So my sister's signature dance move is one leg on the ground, one leg up
In the air.
in the air. The leg that is up is moving side to side, and then her tongue is also out like.
But it's her tongue is like sort of choreographed to be in sync with her leg.
Yeah, like the tongue is going in the opposite direction
Yes.
of the
the leg.
So, yeah.
Yes. So all those
Yes.
factors give me confidence that she will persevere.
Yeah,
The
she's
love of
right
her
in the-
family and a
Yes.
signature dance move.
That's right. 3 more rounds of chemo and we're done. And but the chemo is fucked, man. It's
fucked.
It's fucked.
And I have to say, even in that photo, you look pretty good, girl.
Thank
Which
you
I,
so
I guess
much.
was in the back of an Uber.
And people, no, we were in the restaurant, right? We were in the restaurant,
Oh.
but other people were like, "Oh, you shaved your head for your sister," and I was like, "No, she's just rocking my hairstyle right now."
Like, nah, bitch, I'm bald.
I was like, "Yeah, no, this is how she resembles me right now. I don't resemble her."
You know what? She kind of looks like you in that picture that's on your shirt that you're wearing right now,
Yes.
which we need to show people and describe, please.
Okay, so I am wearing, guys, everybody in the room, and for those who are listening and can't see, I am wearing part of the homework merchandise. You can buy it on Teespring, Spring. Excuse me. And I just want to say very, very quickly, this is part of our Much Too Much line.
Yes.
And I have like a little bet with Miss Diamond as to who's going to sell more t-shirts. So he has a t-shirt that says DILF on it, and it has a picture of Baphomet.
I'll pull a picture of that up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it says, Demon I'd Like to Fuck. And so then I came up with an idea for a t-shirt, and he was like, that's ridiculous. No, blah, 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 blah. And I just want to say, so we made my t-shirt, and I just want to say before I show everybody the t-shirt and explain what a t-shirt looks like, that I took this picture lying on a bed in Venice. That's the truth. Lying on a bed in Venice about 5 years ago. I looked absolutely lovely. I just want to say I took the picture, turned it to black and white, and hit enhance. And honey, that's all I did. That's me. Natural, lovely.
You told
fresh,
that same fucking lie on Fire
This
Chicote.
picture is, this is me. This was just me feeling fabulous lying on a bed in Venice.
Okay,
Honey,
let's see it, honey.
so the picture, and it says on top, it says, All right, I'm ready for my bukkake, Mr. DeMille.
No, it says,
All
all right,
right,
Mr.
Mr.
DeMille, I'm
DeMille,
ready for
I'm
my
ready for
bukkake.
my bukkake.
If you're
All
going
right,
to tell a
Mr.
lie,
DeMille, I'm
if
ready
you're
for my
gonna tell a
bukkake.
lie,
Wait, hold on.
get it straight, bitch.
And it's
All
just a picture of me looking natural and fresh and lovely and ready for my bukkake.
Honey, looking like you just came out of a fucking stasis pod. Don't try it, bitch. Like that ain't got a filter
can you
on
see it? Can you actually see it?
Word.
Not only can they see it, bitch, I'm going to show it to them. Hold up. I think
Yeah.
it's foul, by the way. I think it's absolutely foul.
It's me looking fresh and beautiful. And just that, honey, that picture's not enhanced. It's not retouched. It's not edited.
Oh
That is
my God.
me.
Oh my goodness. Well, it is really something. So, okay. And so the competition is about a different shirt, one that I'm not wearing today. But I'll bring it up.
Yes.
It's this one, which is the Baphomet Demon I'd Like to Fuck shirt, which I'm not wearing today, but I will show you anyway.
So they're
Y'all-
part of our much too much line. And I
That's
was
part
like,
of
you
the
know
much
what?
too much line.
My t-shirt is so much fiercer and it's going to sell way more.
Well, now hold the phone, hooker. Let me show you what I'm wearing. I'm also wearing a much too much t-shirt, Wave 2, which hasn't been released yet. I'm wearing I Give You Grace. Darling.
Yes.
I Give You
Word.
Grace. And I will
Yes.
pull up a picture of that, which is, of
For-
course, an homage to
The icon, Grace Jones.
the icon that is known as motherfucking Grace
legend.
Jones. The legend, honey.
Yes.
can't
Richard,
get
I
the
have
things at
not
once.
seen Sunset Boulevard. You are correct.
Wow. That's why your quote is
Oh,
off
wait a minute.
kilter.
Actually, I saw the play with Glenn Close. I did see the
Okay.
play.
This is the image on my shirt.
I give you grace.
I give
I
you
give
grace.
you grace,
in your
darling.
face.
Let's see if I find the back of it. That's
Give
the
you
back of it.
grace.
Statement, legend,
That is
icon.
so fierce.
In
Yes.
your face.
In your face. Ah.
Kind of like our Liza Minerva.
Very much like Eliza Minerva. Full of lies. Speaking of lies, I think it's time for a little segment we call Just the Facts.
Remember that episode of Facts of Life when Mrs. Garrett got caught stealing?
And this is where we talk about an episode of the classic 1980s sitcom, The Facts of Life, today featuring a cameo by Raj of What's Happening.
Hey, question
Yeah.
for you before we begin.
Mm.
After we're done with the facts of life, which because sadly it does end at some
It
point.
doesn't, but
Uh-huh.
not
Should we
anytime
do-
soon.
No,
Yeah.
but should we do "Give Me a Break"?
Give me a break, I show.
No
Well,
deserve it.
here's a thing.
I love that show.
Maybe
I
we
do
could do
love
like
Give Me a Break.
maybe we could do like a very special episode.
Okay,
Like
What about what's that show
Hogan
with,
Family?
with Amy Sedaris where she
Oh
goes
my-
back to high school?
Strangers
Oh.
for Candy.
See, I would
Strangers with
I would never
Candy,
do that.
honey.
You never step to a classic like that.
It's like doing
I don't know.
It's like doing Pink Flamingos or Mommy Dearest. There are certain things you don't touch. They're so good. There's nothing we could add to it other than wow, it's fab. I much prefer to tear things down.
Yes. Well, speaking of, so we're covering Facts of Life Season 3, Episode 1 today. It is called Growing Pains, and it's a Tootie-centric episode.
She has grown.
She has
Oh, yeah.
grown,
Yes.
and apparently she has just entered her teenage years, so she's probably just turned 13. And the girls are still on their ish, treating her like a kid, ignoring her when they want, involving her when they want. She
going
feels
to
put out.
KKK dances.
Going to KKK dances and getting fucked up, and they're over. And Miss Tootie, needless to say, is over it. She's also become hall monitor or dorm.
She's dorm monitor, and she has braces.
and she's got the most obnoxious braces I've ever seen.
Oh my God!
They're
It's like her
so-
mouth is like
Yeah, it's like, honey, like they couldn't do something a little more subtle.
yeah, but
It
this was the
so
80s.
obnoxious.
Yeah, but they folded it into the character development.
They
yeah.
should have folded it into her
Thank
mouth.
goodness.
Shit, girl. So when
Sorry.
the episode opens, Natalie has a shrunken head. Apparently, Natalie spent her summer, so it's a new semester at Eastland.
They've
Right.
just come back from vacation. That's right.
Or when they had an outbreak of thrush, they called it Yeastland. So
Yeastland.
they're just coming back from summer break. Natalie's been going across country, giving hand jobs across America, apparently.
And Natalie's hair looks really pretty. She has stayed the same weight, but Mrs. Garrett and Blair have porked out.
Hey now.
They parked
Hey.
out on us.
Yes, the ham hocks of life. And Joe's a little bit taller. She's taller than Blair now.
Yes.
But so they're talking about what they did, and Natalie's been giving hand jobs across America, and she's got a stack full of postcards. Joe was, I don't know where. Blair was in Europe on vacances. And I do like the part when Blair says, Natalie, have you been writing to prisoners again? I don't do that anymore.
I don't have to do that anymore.
So funny. By the way, I did used to write to prisoners, and I got one when I was living with Miss Dee. I was like 17, and stupid me using my address where I actually live
And real name.
and real name.
Oh.
And I got a letter from one of them. He's like, "I'm getting out soon, and I'm going to show you my Russian hands and Roman fingers." And he also sent me playing cards of like the Jack, but like the face was burned out. Oh. Anyway,
And then your poor grandma, and then you move out of your grandmother's house, and your poor grandmother
Is left with some guy coming over to her house.
gets a
She's
visit
like,
from the
"Oh,
Russian mafia.
are you the prisoner? Come in,
Are you
come
the
in.
prisoner?
I
Come
have
in."
some frozen food. Come.
I've got frozen foods for you. Oh my God. There was never a time when you would walk into Dee Dee's house and she didn't offer you a meal. Unfortunately, that meal had been cooked 3 years prior.
Yes.
3 years
And
prior
it was
to you
frozen.
arriving. Yeah, and it was
Yes.
frozen, and she would heat it up for you. And you know
Right.
what? I ate a great many of those meals.
I
and
ate a
enjoyed
lot of
them.
those meals.
They were
Oh,
so
Dee Dee.
good. Miss Dee
Yes.
Dee.
I have Dee Dee stuff all around me at the moment, including her cat. So
Yeah.
Tootie is dorm monitor, and the girls are kind of making fun of her because she's a kid. Blair doesn't want to show her what she brought back from France.
Europe.
And
Right.
Tootie's like, well, then fuck y'all bitches. I gotta go turn off the lights. Is that where we are?
But I
Right.
do have to. I have to say that, like, because this group of girls are a little family subunit, But teenagers are messy. But like, I do have to say that they run so hot and cold, particularly with Tootie. Like, sometimes she is part of the group and she's part of the drama and the nonsense and blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes they're like, "You're a kid, bug off." And you know
Right.
what? That would bug me too. It
I
would
thought they
bug
were
me too.
particularly mean to her in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like
Yeah.
super, like just out and out calling her a child. And
Yeah.
they're like, we have important things to do. Planning
she
their,
seems really
their
put out.
party. Yeah. So what Blair has brought back is
Poulet-Foufois.
wine. She's brought back wine for their big party. Honey,
2 bottles of wine.
yo, Blair says to her, honey, we're in the fast lane. You're in the bike lane. Bitch, if that's the fast lane, the three of them sitting there with a coconut, some popcorn, and cheap booze.
Maraschino
Nah.
cherries and pineapple.
Now, mind you, these 4 girls, although Tootie's not part of it right at this very second, there's 2 bottles of wine and there's beer and they're going to have a drinking party. Mind you, the beginning of season 2 opens up with an episode where they go to a bar and they all get arrested and put on probation. They're still on probation. What are they on probation for? For stealing a van and drinking and going into a bar. And now fucking Blair brings 2 bottles of wine for them to drink again.
And
It's like,
Joe,
ladies,
Joe gets beer.
They're curious.
Yeah, and clearly Joe gets
they're
beer because they're
curious.
like, oh, I'll go get. They're bi-curious, and Joe's like, I'll get beer, and they're all like, how are you going to get beer? She's like, I'll get beer.
Well,
I
here's
love
the
that.
question. Now,
Which means that she gets beer all the time.
now
Yeah.
does that mean that she shoplifted it, that she stole it, that she paid
She's
someone
got-
to pick it up, that she
She's got a
traded
connection.
she traded somebody some fucking scissoring in the back of a car?
She
What
has
happened?
a connection. She has a connection because
She's got a
even
connection.
Mrs. Garrett asks her at some point, "Where did you get the beer?" I got the beer.
I got the beer.
Like, I don't tell how I got the beer.
Because she's the
Yeah.
peak.
I
she's the
honor that.
peak skill
Yeah,
parking
I'm
lot
down with that.
punani. Yeah, girl, I'm down with that. But so she gets beer and Blair gets wine and Natalie wants to eat olives and pineapple. What is happening? Natalie's
So-
into the food.
Maraschino cherries.
So meanwhile, the B story
Ooh, that
is
sounds
that Mrs. Garrett is trying to get new equipment for the kitchen facilities.
For the
And so
kitchen.
she has I think it's Mr. Parker now, his name is.
Parker, and
Mr.
he's
Parker.
doing it. Yeah, he's doing it.
And she's having him come over and she makes him like an apple cobbler.
You
Yeah.
know that Mr. Parker was on an episode of Star Trek, right?
Yes.
Really?
The actor's name is Roger Perry. I'll show you a picture.
The Next Generation?
No, the original series.
Wow.
He's the
Oh.
Parkers, and he's doing it. Kinda cute then.
Wow. Look at those
Kinda
eyes.
cute.
Yeah. He
Kinda
didn't
cute
change.
then.
He didn't change much, I must say.
Not much.
Would you
not
would you
much.
have done Mr. Parker?
No.
No.
How high
No.
would I have to be?
As high as Blair and Natalie and
No.
I would have done Mr. Cooper from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Mark Curry.
Yeah, I would have done Mark Curry.
Hey, all right.
Okay,
Okay.
then.
So is it that at Eastland they have a new headmaster every year because we had Mr. Bradley, Mr. Harris, now we got Mr. Parker?
Listen, it's which it's which.
Huh?
Yeah, he's the headmaster.
Yeah.
He is, honey. It's whatever journeyman actor was the least expensive in that moment
Right.
is going to be the headmaster. But so anyway, so it is Tootie's job to make sure all the doors are closed, the windows are closed, check on the dorms, da 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 da. But what happens is Tootie finds out that the girls have liquor. Now it is her job to tattle on them. She is
Yes.
dorm monitor, but she doesn't.
And she's
But they're
miffed.
like, oh, and she's miffed, and she's like, why didn't you invite me? And the girl's like, well, whatever. You're still not invited. We're gonna take it from the room to the laundry room. We're gonna go get drunk in the laundry room. And they just know Tootie is not going to tattle on them. But what they forget is that the second bottle of wine is still in the room, and Tootie takes her revenge by drinking the entire bottle
Because
of wine.
she wants to
Yup.
be grown up like them.
Right. They can drink a bottle of wine, and she can drink a bottle of wine. Of course, she gets absolutely wrecked, forgets all her dorm duties, and happens to wander downstairs just as Mrs. Garrett and the new headmaster
Mr. Parker.
are having their little meeting. And of course, Mrs. Garrett can tell, my homegirl is
Well,
three
it's
sheets
like
to the
this.
wind.
Mrs. Garrett
You
is there.
smell
with
it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Parker. Mr. Parker, because he's doing it. Mrs.
And
Garrett's
he's
gonna
Mr.
do
Parker,
it.
and he's smelling it, and I don't know why.
And there's a conversation about bun warmers.
Yes.
And because Mrs. Garrett has made apple, I didn't catch what apple strudel or something, and she's gonna put it in the bun. What was it, Booby? Was
It
it
was
apple?
apple something.
Apple, and she's like, I'm gonna put it in the bun warmer. And Mr. Parker says, Mrs. Garrett, you don't have a bun warmer. And she's like, what about your face? And he's like, straddle up, bitch. Mr. Parker, because we're doing it and we're doing it. Apple strudel, losing the thread. So Tootie comes down, drunk.
Yeah, and somehow, with a bit of tightrope walking, Mrs. Garrett is able to discern, okay, not only is Tootie drunk, but I have to get Mr. Parker out of here. And then so that I can suss out exactly what's going on. And, with a little bit of smoke and mirrors, she gets Mr. Parker out of the meeting. She doesn't get any of her new stuff. And she confronts Tootie. And, of course, Tootie spills the beans, but not on Blair, Joe, and Natalie. She spills the beans that she got drunk.
Right.
And, of course, Mrs. Garrett is like, where did this alcohol come from? We got to get
Where
to the
can I
bottom
get me
of this.
some?
Yeah,
Tootie, you got to sober up. Here's an 8-ball.
here's an 8-ball,
Word.
which would sober you up lovely. But,
Hello.
Down.
and
Joe was
down.
like, I got an 8-ball. Yeah.
Joe, where did you get the 8-ball? I got
it.
an
Got the
8-ball.
8-ball. Go on.
Yeah. And so they go back up to the room, and of course, Miss Garrett gives Tootie the what for, but Tootie does not give up her girls. But of course, Miss Garrett knows that if Tootie got alcohol, the other girls
Where
must
else
be
is she going to
involved.
get it from?
They
Right.
got to be involved. And of course, they bum rush the room and see what's going on. And then they try and dip out. They're like, oh, well, we'll come back later. And Mrs. Garrett is like,
Mhm.
come back in here, girls. This is what's going on. So do you have something to add? Do you not have something to add? Is Tootie solely responsible for this? And at first, they're going to hang Tootie up.
Right.
They're
Well, I
gonna-
love
they're
that Joe has
yeah.
her little Banaka spray to hide the booze on her breath.
Yeah, they're gonna run it up the guts.
Right. Right.
And let Tootie take the fall.
Right. Right. Especially Blair.
Yeah.
But you know what? But they're all in on it. Joe straight up says, no, we went to see a movie about a mushroom eating New York. They're straight up
a
lying.
mushroom eating
Totally.
New York.
Also, I just want to revisit that quote unquote party. It was the three of them, some wine, some beer,
In a laundry room.
in a laundry room with a bowl of popcorn. What
They
was
also-
what was the end result of this? Like madcap all night.
Natalie
uninhibited
spilled
scissoring?
half of the bottle.
Right. She spills half of the bottle. So they didn't drink much, although Joe still had all that beer.
Right.
What happened to that beer?
She drank it.
And also,
Yeah.
Blair is having a
Yeah.
freak out because the bottle cost $30. Bitch, that ain't nothing to you. You
That
Blair
ain't nothing to
Warner.
her.
Blair, that ain't nothing to you, girl. Anyway,
Blair.
so Tootie does not hang them out to dry, but the girls feel bad and they fess up. The alcohol came from them. Was theirs. But Mrs. Garrett's like, yo, y'all bitches on probation. I gotta go tell Mr. Parker.
Yeah.
And we do. And they're like, no. I have another idea. You punish us, Mrs. Garrett. And Mrs. Garrett's like, I can never be severe enough. And Tootie's like, bullshit. Because when I was going through your room for dorm check, I saw your strap-on dildo, woman. Okay.
Right. And that cat of nine tails.
And that cat of nine tails, strap it on.
And then, honey, this turned into a very special episode of Facts of Life.
Very special
Honey.
episode, honey.
Girl. Oh, wow, they went there.
Mhm. And Joe was like, I got the strap on. Okay.
Joe, where did you get the strap on? I got the
strap on. So in the end, nobody gets expelled because Mrs. Garrett is an enabler. She's at her core dishonest.
She saved her girls yet again.
She's an enabler. She
did say that this never happens again. She
And
said
it
this
never does.
happens again. And it
That
never
we know
does.
Oh, flash forward a month. Tootie is almost a hooker. How good is the care this woman is giving them? She's an enabler. She needs to get herself to fucking Al-Anon. Okay. She needs to quit. Fuck her bun warmer. She's a bad influence. If I was Mr. Parker, I would fire that bitch.
A drag came. Al-Anon.
Al-Anon. Hello. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, but in the end, Mrs. Garrett does dole out the punishment, which is no TV, no boys.
It's grounded for 2 months, no TV for 2 months, and no dates. And I actually think
my life.
She went Israel. My land. No, I actually feel like she that's just for me and Mike. It was just for me and Mike.
It seemed like Tourette's for a second.
Yeah.
It is.
Israel,
We have sporadic Tourette's.
Jewish Tourette's.
But she goes soft on them. She does. She goes soft on them.
Yeah. And of course, they become friends again at the end of the episode, joking about Tootie's braces, calling her Tin Grin and Metal Mouth.
And honey,
and Blair's like, do you have braces down below? Oh, and I could get in the way.
All of the girls are about to grow into women big time, and you just can't pull that with Tootie anymore. Like literally by the end of this season, Kim feels is a woman.
Right.
Like she just develops.
And according to the internet,
everything.
A racist. Yeah. And a racist.
And a huge racist.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Miss Kim Fields?
She went to one of those KKK cotillions in whiteface. It was a scandal.
It was a scandal.
A scandalo, Maricon. Ay! Ay! Drag Race Espana coming soon to Jewel. Okay. Soon. You have been listening to So Auntieways. Be sure to tune in next week and every week until we decide not to do it. This is Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
And this is Booby.
Aye.
Auntieways.